Hey guys, I'm Stephanie Dees with Chalky Decor and Vintage, and today I'm sharing with you how I get a kind of like a salvaged old world look on my new build pedestals. Some people call them plants, some people call them pedestals, risers, anything. You can call them whatever you want. But anyway, so I start off with raw wood, and my first coat for me is an underpainting, and it kind of seals the wood. And I use Anvil with Cottage Colors. It's a DIY cottage color. And then here, I'm going to go over that with aviary, yes, I believe it's aviary with just to provide a little bit more color under painting. So what I'm going to put on top of both of this, I'm going to seal it because the aviary doesn't have, it is a clay-based paint from DIY, and it doesn't have a sealer built into it like the Anvil did. So I use Satin by Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, which is a Final Finishes. And here I'm using Sweet Pickins Milk Paint in Flour Sack. And by sealing the underpaint, what I'm going to do is create a seal over it that the milk paint won't stick to, and that it will create more of a flaking and crackle and all the goodness from just decades old paint. And here I'm showing you that, just slap it on. I don't care. These are supposed to look like a salvaged piece. So if that's what you want, this is my method for painting it. So this is the first coat, and you can either dry it with a heat gun or let it air dry. Either way, it's going to flake. Look at that flakiness. That paint is just peeling right off. It is, it's so fun. And what I do usually, though, when it peels that much, is you'll see me in just a second get a sandpaper, because it's going to come off with my paintbrush when I go to do the second coat. So I'm going to take it and sand it, and you'll see the green and the black peeking through, right? So I don't sand it enough to peel back the green, to sand back the green and the black. What I do, that's why I put the Final Finishes satin coat between my underpaint paint and the milk paint on top of it, the white. So now this is my second coat, and I'm just going to slap it on again. It's dry. You can still see that it's not like the best coverage because it's white going on black and green. My third coat is usually thicker. And I guess if you make the milk paint thicker to start with, it will, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what mood I'm in, how I'm going to mix this up. I love milk paint because it's the dry powder, and you can just create ever how thick you want it or thin you want it. So here I'm back in my shop because I'm about to create a lot of dust, and I don't want that in my studio. And I just sand it. I just start sanding, and you're going to see some flakiness. I'm using a 220 on like a hand finger sander maybe, and I'm hitting corners, I'm hitting edges, I'm hitting the top. I'm just going around sanding until I get what I like. You're going to see some flaking. See that? That's some awesome peeling. It looks old. It's starting to look worn. And in just a minute, I'll add wax to get it to the actual worn, old, decrepit looking look that I want, that I like, and most of my customers like. They buy it that way when they request the distress. So here I'm just sanding, and the paint's doing its thing. Sweet Pickins milk paint is just, oh, chef's kiss. It's the best. I love it when I want to create that old world look. And even when I don't want that, I can put in extra bond and it's perfect. So, yeah, you're just going to see the goodness. I just thought I would leave it all in, that wonderful goodness. And you can see where the previous paint that peeled and I sanded back, and then it is, I painted over it. You can see that it stuck because I created some texture under. Okay, so here I'm satisfied with the sanding that I've done. And now I'm going to go in with clear wax. This is Sweet Pickins milk paint, or no, back up. This is Dixie Belle's clear wax. I'm using it because I'm out of DIY clear wax. I've gotten some now, but at this point I only had Dixie Belle's clear wax. So I put it on so that I can control what's going on next. And as you can see, this is DIY's black wax. This is some delicious, rich stuff right here. And what I do is I put it on the edges first and then wipe it off, wipe it back, and then I start blending it and making sure that I'm putting it in the creases where it goes, or should I say where it should go, or as far as where you would see like dirt accumulate or things that weather over time. So you can see here I'm wiping it back, just wiping the excess off, not really blending it in yet. I don't know why I put so much on to start with. I guess it just feels right. I'm kind of one of those people that go by the seat of my pants. I just put it on and then I start wiping. So the clear wax helps me control it. And I'm just continuing to wipe back, and with that clear wax, with the black wax on top of it, I'm just able to make sure that I'm getting the look that I want. And you'll see in just a second where I take that small little brush you see laying on my work table there, and I will use it. There I go, I get it. And I've got a little bit of black on it, the black wax, and I'm putting it in some strategic places and creases. And this helps with shadows. It helps with, that's where the buildup is, as far as, dirt over time, wear over time. And then you'll see, I'm taking the clear wax and applying it again and using it to blend out the big part of the black wax, or the main part of the black wax, to get it just to blend in and look more like weathered paint or dirty paint or whatever. I love things that look old and dirty and crusty and just all the goodness that there is. So this is what I like to do for my my pedestals or risers when I'm wanting them to look old. And you'll see, I just keep blending until I get it there, and here it is. You can get your pedestal or paint to do one of your own at chalky-decor.com.